It's a place where Southern hospitality comes to life.
Everybody's so friendly here. That's who we are and what we are.
Where strangers quickly feel like family.
We've seen so many faces and become a part of the community to where everyone feels like a family here.
Where success is something the whole community shares.
But everyone really rallies together to support these small businesses.
And where life moves at just the right pace.
They can come, sit, relax with a glass of wine or a glass of bourbon and just chill out and take it all in.
Join us as we explore the people, places, and stories that make Mercer County one of Kentucky's hidden gems. Good evening. I'm Larry Smith.
I'm Evelyn Schultz. Our spotlight is focused on a place that was in existence before Kentucky even became a state.
Yeah, welcome to Mercer County, the home of Bergen, Salvisa, and Harrodsburg, the oldest town in the Commonwealth.
Founded in 1774, Harrodsburg became the oldest permanent English settlement west of the Allegheny Mountains. You can visit Old Fort Harrods State Park to get a first-hand view of what life was like during those early times. And you can't forget Shaker Village of Pleasant Hill, the host for our show tonight. It's an immersion into the life of 19th century Shakers. We'll learn more about that later.
There's another place to stay that really puts history on display, from an all-girls school to a popular inn for overnight stays, or even a night out in Harrodsburg.
The Beaumont Inn is a unique historical home. As Michael Burke shows us, centuries of hospitality have brought people in from around the world.
You never know who will drop by Mercer County's Beaumont Inn.
All the way from Texas just so she can do her genealogy work.
Fred's wife, Sandra Paulus, is on a mission.
We're here for about 4 or 5 days, and we're looking to find more interesting things about my 4th great-grandfather, John Smith.
Sandra says he was a pioneer in the area who might have died on a piece of property he owned. It's not far from the inn, which was built during the late 1700s and served a much different purpose back then than it does now.
It initially was called the Greenville Institute, a school just for young ladies to come to.
Oftentimes, those young women were sent here for their own well-being.
It was post-Civil War, and during the Civil War, a lot of families sent their daughters here for safety reasons and so forth.
As a school, it underwent several changes in ownership and several name changes. Then in 1919, the big change came. Another sale and a transformation into what it's known for being today.
Bed and breakfast of sort, or a place for people to come and stay.
And like the Palisades from Texas, they come from all over to spend a night or two at the Beaumont.
Every week, every month, we get people from California, Oklahoma, Nebraska, and of course, our friends just to the north of us in Ohio and Indiana, they're here all of the time.
But why here? What's been the draw for so many people?
They're here for the simple fact that when they were small, their grandparents brought them here and stayed. And so it's become a generational thing.
And that's the case for Mr. Yates and his family, too.
My daughter was small. It was the winter. There was snow on the ground. We came here after church. We had a great experience. And every time I walk through here, I reflect on that. And that's special to me.
Now he helps to run this special place with its 17 well-appointed bedrooms, full-service dining room, and areas in which to relax and mingle with history oozing from almost every corner. President Theodore Roosevelt once sat in that very chair. He's even pictured sitting in it on the wall. But what's inside here, Dan believes, isn't as important as how guests feel when they come here.
Southern hospitality, what does that mean? That means how you're greeted. You know, our friends from other states, that's the one thing they say about when they come to Beaumont or when they come to Kentucky in general. More importantly, Harrodsburg. Everybody's so friendly here. That's who we are and what we are.
And that's who they'll strive to continue being, whether coming for an overnight stay or for a meal at the tavern. You never know who has been here before. Never know who you might run into. For Spotlight on Mercer County, I'm Michael Burke.
A historic building in Harrodsburg is starting a brand new chapter.
Yeah, the building was built in 1843 as a hotel. It later became home of the Harrodsburg Herald. Well, now it is the home of Precision Dance. The owner and her husband spent months renovating the empty offices. They turned the old workspaces into dance studios. She started the program 2 years ago at the local community center, and we're told the classes quickly outgrew that space.
So the first thing that I did is I offered a free dance class So I just said, like, let's just try this out and do it. And I did one day where I offered a bunch of different age groups, and almost 85% of them just signed up for my first session.
The new studio now features 4 dance and tumbling rooms and offers nearly 70 classes for kids across Mercer and surrounding counties. Well, one of the popular things to do when we do spotlights is to go out and just kind of taste the food there in the town.
We're always hungry.
Yeah.
And there's no doubt when you think about great spots to get a meal in Mercer County, the Bergen Dairy Barn is sure to come up. With a prime location on Main Street, it's hard to resist a stop at the Bergen Dairy Barn.
We are at the crossroads of Bergen, so if you're heading to the lake or heading to school or even just heading to the next town over to go to a grocery store, you're going to pass us.
It's even harder when the menu looks this delicious.
It's ice cream. Everyone likes ice cream.
Every day that I'm in Bergen, I stop here to get something to eat.
One thing that we specialize in is trying to keep a variety of fried foods. Just like going to the fair and finding your favorite cheese sticks or foot-long corn dogs, things like that.
10 years ago, Sharon Burton was a stay-at-home mom to 4 kids. After inquiring about a job for her son at the Dairy Barn, she ended up employed herself and running the restaurant about a year later.
We've seen so many faces and become a part of the community to where everyone feels like a family here.
And for Burton, the Bergen Dairy Barn is a family business. Her son Levi and daughter Aubrey work here, while Burton's oldest daughter is never too far away.
She's really scrambling now because I'm her biggest competition.
This week, Michaela Hale opened up the Locker Room Sandwich Shop just across the street from her mom's business. While there may be some friendly banter involved, Hale says her mother's business savvy is her biggest inspiration.
But it's nice to have her right across, so if I need help, you know, she's always there to help, and not just a phone call away. She's literally a couple feet away.
Yeah, we've had a lot of people say, you know, why would you want to put competition across the street? But we don't see it as competition. We see it as a support for each other and being able to, you know, run back and forth, help each other if needed.
The Locker Room isn't Hale's only restaurant. She was just a teen when she opened the retro-style Kayla's Diner in Harrodsburg 5 years ago.
It's crazy that a little 19-year-old that had a dream that is where I'm at today to now be opening my second place.
With 3 restaurants across Mercer County, mom and daughter say they're busy, but it's worth it to work in their hometowns.
I was born and raised in Bergen. This has always been my home. I see this community as my community.
And I'm very grateful that we have such a small town, but everyone really rallies together to support these small businesses.
And doing it together is the cherry on top of a delicious hand-spun milkshake. Larry, I got the chance to go check out another unique spot. Blackwatch Alpacas in Harrodsburg is currently home to a dozen alpacas. Owners Paul and Deb Slaninka welcome guests of all ages for free farm visits. They even give people the chance to pet and hug these relatives of the camel.
There are a lot of people here that have heard of an alpaca, seen pictures, but never been close to them. For the most part, they come in and they realize that these animals are not very large. And yes, they're friendly.
Fun fact, people always like to ask if the alpacas spit. Paul says yes, but only if they're really angry, and typically it's directed at another alpaca. Us humans can expect a hug and maybe a peck.
That's good to know. Thanks, Evie. Well, America's largest restored Shaker community is right here in Mercer County.
We'll take you behind the scenes here at Shaker Village up next. Just south of Lexington, there's a place where history isn't tucked away in a museum case. At Shaker Village of Pleasant Hill, visitors can step back in time and experience one of Kentucky's unique stories.
LEX News anchor Drew Ammon takes us to this historic landmark where they're preserving history while creating new experiences for today's guests.
I'm here at America's largest restored Shaker community, Shaker Village of Pleasant Hill. It sits on 3,000 acres. We talked about its impact in Mercer County. Catching up with the CEO, Billy Rankin.
First and foremost is the history of the site.
That site Lexington Road in Harrodsburg.
The elevator speech about Shaker Village is kind of hard to give because you have over 200 years of history.
History of the Shakers leads well into the history of hospitality at Pleasant Hill.
The Shakers were very welcoming.
Pacifists, the Pleasant Hill Shakers were also known to be self-sufficient.
They built the road that ran right through the middle of their community.
From 1805 to 1910, this was the third largest Shaker community in the U.S.
The Shakers lived here until the last one in Kentucky passed away in 1923.
Restoration of the village started in the 1960s.
They convinced the state to move the highway out.
This turnpike used to be Highway 68.
The property in the 1960s had to be recollected.
Home to the largest private collection of original 19th century buildings, 34 original Shaker structures remain on site.
It's honestly a miracle that this place was able to be preserved and collected in the way that it was and open to the public.
Which begs the question about the experience today.
What can people expect?
Well, you have a chance to make your own adventure in a way.
That adventure allows you to dine at the trustees table, check out the iconic twin spiral staircases, and stay overnight. Overall,
it's a place of self-reflection and serenity and peacefulness, and I think we can use a little bit of that in our world today.
A chance to step back in time. In Mercer County, Drew Ammon, LEX News.
When James Herod and his fellow settlers built a fort in the wilderness in 1774, he surely couldn't have imagined what the town that would grow up next door and bear his name would become. Harrodsburg, or Harrodstown as it was once called, not only predates Kentucky, but America herself, and its residents have worked tirelessly over the generations to preserve its history. So the locals here say there are more than 80 historical spots that can be found on free walking tours throughout Harrodsburg, including this place. This is Morgan Row, built back in the early 1800s, more than 200 years ago. In fact, it is the oldest row house west of the Alleghenies, still in use today. Morgan Row is home to the Harrodsburg Historical Society, where some come to do research in the archives that are stored here. Others come to simply experience a structure that's nearly 220 years old, retelling Civil War stories from local battles and sharing the story of its original owner, Joseph Morgan, and his family.
It has historically been used as a tavern, as a post office, a lot of different uses throughout the years, but we're very proud of our ability to preserve it and have it here today.
Ira Nagy moved here from Michigan in 2024 after falling in love with the town on a random visit. And who could blame him? The charm of the downtown area, where yesterday and today collide in harmony. And just a short walk away, rows of stunning mansions, opulent in their day and still elegant today.
There's an immense pride in the people here, in the history of the land, so the agriculture, the buildings that people have here today, horse racing, raising horses, and you see it in every facet of our community. Every conversation I have with people, it's just, you kind of walk away saying, wow, they're really proud of what we have here, and I think that's what you take away.
We have much more to come here from beautiful Shaker Village.
From taking a blast to the past to diving headfirst into all nature has to offer.
We're going on a big adventure courtesy of the great outdoors. But up next, your full storm tracker forecast as we continue here on LEX News with a spotlight on Mercer County.
All right, well, after a week where Harrodsburg and Mercer County has had over 4 inches of rain, as we head into the final day of Pioneer Days on Saturday, the weather's looking a lot better. So with all that, 8 a.m., you got the 5K run. Should be partly sunny. Temperatures will be in the mid-70s. Now, it's going to be really humid, so if you're running, pace yourself. It's tough to breathe sometimes, tough to sweat when it's that hot and humid. By 1 o'clock, we've got the pie eating contest. Temperatures will be in the upper 80s at that point, on our way to a high. Should make the low 90s around 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. During the evening, music, vendors, and fun, and temperatures falling back into the low 80s, making for a great end to this year's Pioneer Days. And hope you have a great time.
You can't talk about Mercer County without mentioning Harrington Lake. The man-made lake is about 249 feet deep, making it the deepest lake in Kentucky. You can enjoy boating and fishing or even stop for a good time at one of the local marinas.
And there are multiple sites that will scratch your itch for an outdoor adventure. One of the prettiest views in Mercer County is the Kentucky River Palisades.
Yeah, and whether you are on foot or on the water, an adventure is there to be had for sure. We sent our Kaylee Randall to check it out.
When it comes to finding an adventure, there's abundance to do across the Bluegrass State. But one county holds a secret treasure: the Kentucky River Palisades in Mercer County. From the thousands of trees to miles of hiking trails and a river you could spend the whole day exploring, there's so much to see and do. In Mercer County, framing the Kentucky River is the Palisades, cliffs that rise more than 250 feet above the river. According to the Historical Marker Database, the Palisades formed more than several million years ago. The rocks that make up the Palisades are 460 million years old. The forest is home to much wildlife and several endangered plants. Throughout time, the area has evolved into a hotspot for outdoor enthusiasts, like the popular Cummins Ferry RV Park and Campground, located an hour southwest of Lexington.
My dad actually lives at the campground down at the Camp on Kentucky.
The campground, which has been around for more than 10 years, offers long-term or short-term stays. For visitors like Michelle Roush, there's always an activity to try out.
So a couple years ago, we actually went to the caves and went hiking down in the caves, and they do fishing. I don't fish.
And if you're not interested in taking the bait, you can strap on your hiking boots and explore the Palisades by foot. Submerge yourself in the river for a relaxing day.
We just basically come down here and swim on the river and just come up to the waterfall. Oh my God! It's so cold!
Or paddle your way through the river. Gliding along the bend of the Palisades.
Now, the cool thing about the river is that it spans 10 miles long, 5 to 7 miles on each side. So whether you're an experienced kayaker, maybe just a beginner, or you like to take the boat out, the calm waters make it very easy to navigate. And the scenery, well, that's one that's hard to beat.
Come visit. It's an amazing place.
In Mercer County, Kaylee Randall, LEX News.
That looks like quite the adventure. Coming up, it's time to get a little loco.
Yeah, how one woman turned a retirement project into a booming business here in Mercer County.
Finish the sentence. Best spot to grab a bite in Mercer County.
Oh, absolutely. Bergen Dairy Barn.
How would you describe Mercer County?
I think Mercer County is quaint, adorable, friendly.
Well, Kentucky is considered bourbon country, but the grapes are plentiful at Logan Vineyard here in Mercer County.
Their specialty is locally grown, handcrafted wine. The owners hope will make fans a little loco. Annie Brown got an up-close look at the process.
We want it to be a fun, relaxing, enjoyable experience instead of stuffy.
That's what Logan Vineyards owner Teresa Logan hopes visitors feel when they step into Logan Vineyards' brand new tasting room to taste delicious wine flavors that have a little fun, too. After working decades in state government, Logan wanted a retirement project. In 2021, Logan Vineyards opened up as a wedding venue with an open-air chapel, bridal suites, and a reception space.
We try to keep your weddings very affordable, but very beautiful.
The wedding venue portion of the business is now called The Lodge at Logan Vineyards. But now Teresa, her husband, and business partner Colin Cox are focusing on making the winery and their homemade wines what they're known for.
My husband had a background in, wine, and he did some port during the day when he was younger. And so we said, well, that would look beautiful out here to have a winery. So that's how it started. So we planted all the grapevines, did all the intensive labor in the blackberries. We have 540 blackberry plants. And then we took it one step further.
Their wine brand is called Loca Wines, but not in the way you'd think.
The Loco came about, we're not crazy wine, but sometimes we feel like we're crazy. But the name actually came from the first two letters of my name, Logan, and my husband, Mike. And then Colin, Cox, is CO. So we combine the two first letters, Loco, to make Loco Wines.
Their iconic logo, a sloth.
What better than to choose the most laid-back creature on earth than a sloth? So that became our mascot.
The wine flavors are created and the wine ferments on site, managed by Teresa's husband, winemaker Mike Logan. He walked me through the fermenting process.
Yeah, so we start our wines in a primary fermenter for about 2 to 3 weeks in primary fermentation. We put it in a secondary tank for a month, move it back into the other tank for about 6 to 8 months, depending on the type of wine.
The wines are then bottled, sealed, and labeled by Teresa, Mike, and Colin. And for them, it's the quality over quantity that counts.
We don't want to grow exponentially and make it a process. We're a small farm winery. We like to be attached to the wine. We don't want to hire people and have them do a lot of the bottling process. We want to make something unique and just have a lot of people come here for the community and do it. We haven't grown and we don't plan to really grow huge.
And everything is either locally sourced or grown right here.
Whatever we don't grow on property, we actually go and get from someone local. And everything is fresh. When we get it, we even create fresh, drinks and cocktails with it.
Those fresh ingredients are used to make fun, unique wine flavors, like their award-winning bourbon caramel apple or blackberry wine. But whether you love wine or are more of a cocktail enjoyer, there's something for everyone. They also create moonshine flavors and are hoping to one day expand to making bourbon. You can get a taste for yourself on Saturdays when the tasting room opens to the public.
We have a full bar, so if you don't like wine, we have something for everybody's palate, but we call it Tasting the Loco side of Kentucky.
Nestled right along the Bourbon Trail, Teresa says they welcome hundreds of visitors from all over the country each year.
This is like another stop along the way. After a day of the tours on the Bourbon Trail, they can come, sit, relax with a glass of wine or a glass of bourbon, and just chill out and take it all in.
For Spotlight on Mercer County, I'm Annie Brown.
Thanks so much for watching our Spotlight on Mercer County.
BBN Tonight is up next. We'll see you back here at 11.